Hello, my name is Ben Fruchtl, and today we are going to be learning a bit more about why you should play the piano. The piano is a keyboard instrument, which can also be classified as either a quarterphone or an electrophone, depending on the type of piano, but we'll get into that a little bit later. I want to show you some other things about the piano first. The piano originated in about the 1600s in Europe. This was a Western instrument and originated from the harpsichord, which was an instrument that used quills in order to pluck strings when you hit a key. So when you hit a key, it would pluck a string, and then that would make a tone. Eventually, what we know as the pianoforte, the modern piano, is developed in the 1800s in the Romantic era, and that's the modern acoustic instrument that we have today. More recently, pianos have also been developed into electronic instruments, which is why there are chordophones, ones that are struck, and electrophones, ones that create sound via an electronic process. This instrument is played by hitting keys on this keyboard, but I want to show you a little bit more about how that works, so take a little bit of a closer look. So when you're playing a piano, you make notes by hitting the keys. It's pretty much as simple as that to begin with. So for example, if I start on this middle note, this is one of the notes that I can play on the piano. Notice all I did is press down, and it made a note. So I can do that with other notes. Right? And there are some notes that are the same. So for example, this note here is also the same as this note. Just a little bit higher. Notice how they sound pretty similar. Now I can do this going on, even off the screen. And you can do this the same lower as well. Here's this note, here's the note lower, here's the note even lower, here's the note off the screen lower. So notes can also be played at the same time. So if I play this note and this note at the same time, it creates a nice, interesting tone. So I can play this note at the same time. I could go a little further and play 3 notes at the same time. I could go even further and play a lot of notes at the same time, using both hands. And that's why people use both hands on the piano, because it allows you to play complex chords. Now, there are 2 ways that you can play piano as well. You can play it short, but you can also use something called the pedal, and I'm using the pedal underneath the piano, right here, to be able to sustain notes as well. Listen to the difference. There are many different types of piano. The one that I have in front of me is called a synthesizer. It is a weighted synthesizer, so it is designed to feel similar to an acoustic piano. One that I have upstairs right here is an upright acoustic piano, and the one that you see here is a grand piano, all of which play differently based off of the mechanics internally. For example, this instrument does some different things with electronic sound, but doesn't have the same timbre that an acoustic keyboard might have. An acoustic piano, like the one that I just showed you, or the grand piano. So each of these pianos serve different purposes, and different people will want to get different instruments for different reasons. As such, these instruments also have similar but also different parts. For example, they all have black and white keys that play different notes based off of which one you hit. For example, if I hit a white key again, like I showed you in the how-to, that's just hitting one white key, another white key. And if I hit a white key and then a black key, notice it just sounds a little bit different. It sounds a little bit higher than the white key that I played before. Those are 2 parts of the piano. Another part of the piano is the pedal, which I showed you in the how-to, which is also similar between the electronic and the acoustic pianos. Again, the pedal is the thing that sustains a note. Normally, if I hit a note, it would only play for a short period of time, but if I play it with the pedal, it sustains for a longer period of time. Electric pianos and acoustic pianos also have different parts though. So this synthesizer that I have in front of me has the keys, but it also has a bunch of buttons which do different things. Some allow me to change the volume, some allow me to change the timbre, and some even allow me to change what sound I might have. For example, here's the grand piano sound again. But I can also change it to be something different. For example, I can make it sound like an electric piano and change sound in that way, which an acoustic piano cannot do. The acoustic piano, however, has parts inside of it that allow it to create sound differently. For example, as you can see here, on the inside of a grand piano, we can see that there are hammers that strike the strings, and also the strings themselves. And this acoustic process allows it to be a more warm, a richer, a more genuine sound for a piano that even the best electric pianos have a very hard time replicating. I really think that you should play this piano, or a different type of piano, because there are so many different applications that this instrument can be played in. It can be used as a solo instrument, or it can be used in ensembles. So I could play this in a rock, a jazz ensemble. It's been used in funk styles. It's been used in modern pop. It's been used in classical music. There are so many different applications to how this piano could be used that if you learn how to play piano, you can use it in so many different settings. There's also a versatility in terms of what type of instrument that you get. For example, this instrument that I have in front of me is significantly more portable than the upright keyboard that I have upstairs. It's a little harder to move it up and down the stairs. So you can get different pianos for different purposes while acknowledging the shortcomings of each. This will never be able to replicate entirely the sound of a good acoustic piano. But there are different options for you as a beginner, potentially, to be able to use this as well.